Hello, hello. Good evening. Let's not get jump scared by the music for once. Oh. Well, I see it coming, and it still surprises me every time that when I actually unmute the music. I was like, oh, okay, yes, that is louder than I expected it to be. Who would have guessed? Jesus. Welcome back. It's Attorney Investigations. And this time I actually remembered to change the voice acting before we start the game. So we don't have to do it sometime as soon as we hear someone say hold it or whatever and be like, oh right, wait, that's still the wrong language. So today we are going to be on Japanese voice acting actually. So we should be hearing some idioties. Oh well, maybe not. Not as much objection. More often we hear a hold it than we do hear an objection in this one, but still. Should be in Japanese this time. Hi. Oh. New chapter. Thank you for the pat. New chapter time. Let's see what this one's about. Turnabout reminiscence. Hey Faraday. The young lady who calls herself the second Yatagarasu. Piece of cloth that she conjured up. Take me back to many years ago. 7 years earlier. That is actually quite a few years ago, yeah. Yeah, that's right, I did it. I killed the guy. There was a great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. I asked the defendant, just what exactly are you trying to say? Did you get it? I know the true identity of the Yatagarasu. Oh? Yatagarasu. It's the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. You saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it! You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy. What? Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu? Exactly what... Mr. Rell, I think we've heard just about enough out of you. Your Honor, please listen to me, I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me. You just... Wait, hold on. You just said, yes, I committed a murder, but someone else told me to do it. And it's this guy over there. Eh? Once with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. His court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. Oh. So we are actually in court. Oh! Ah yes, the really young Edgeworth. With an even more pompous outfit than he usually wears. Okay. Almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so I decided my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant. Crazy. Edgeworth. Ew, sir. Ew. Ew. Have you read over all the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. Memorized everything there's to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. Oh, shut the fuck up, my guy. I understand, sir. Got the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career. I'm honored and proud. As I flushed over your studies, I'm giving you this very rare chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. I hate this man. Such a legendary prosecutor will be watching and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way. Okay. Hi. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Hi, good evening! Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor... How do you say that? Burn? I don't know how to say any of these people's names. Faraday gave the order. Also, why does he look so smug in his picturing? Yeah, it's that guy again. This is 7 years before. This is a flashback. Yeah, this is a flashback case. 7 years. 7 years back. Hi, Flo. Faraday's such a fool. He's been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Faraday? He's a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Yeah. I'm kind of glad that his outfit that he is now is not as extreme as this one anymore, because if you look at them like this, you can really tell how much he's taken straight up just from karma. Those who cannot be brought to court. That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there's no reason to even deal with such individuals. The prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Yes, there's no reason to deal with such individuals, I see. I think Von Karma is the type of person to get all of his stuff like tailored to specifically fit him. I don't see him going to just a general clothing store. Like, I think he goes to a tailor and is like, this is what I want. Take my measurements and have this ready in a week. I feel like he would be that kind of person. Actually, disgracing yourself as Faraday will not be forgiven. Have no fear, I will not let you down, sir. Tailored to perfection. In place of the accused prosecutor Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. I hate that. Taylor made to... Oh yeah, no, definitely. I don't think he would change a habit like that if he grew up with it. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all. How Von Karma. Get as much cash as you did. Fair. My mentor said it was more chic to keep it in my pocket. Or cheek to keep it in my pocket. Hold on. I do need to. I don't show people my badge often enough. I know I never do it for the Ace Attorney games either, despite it being so much fun every time. It's thanks to you that I finally become a prosecutor, sir. It's amazing that you wanted to become a defense attorney yet became my student. It is a strange path you have traveled. Yeah, I wonder whose fault that is. It's true that I once wanted to become a defense attorney, but now I'm honored and proud to be a prosecutor. I see. Then as a student of mine, I suggest you remember this well. The prosecutor's badge is not to be flaunted. The dignity of a prosecutor lies in the man himself, not in the badge. I understand. I will keep that in mind. Besides, why put holes in your fine garments? It's simply preposterous. Prosecutors must also take pride in their appearance. I will keep this in mind as well. I'm constantly having to remind the others at the prosecutor's office of this. It's more fashionable to keep your prosecutor's badge in your pocket. In other words, always treat a prosecutor's badge with care and honor. I understand, sir. Aha, okay. Yeah, and frankly, I don't think you should be playing these games if you haven't at least played the very first game to completion. Alright, so what's this trial about? So, have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you're talking about. Understood. What is the case about, actually? A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Kodopian embassy. The victim is the dyed man. I am not going to comment on that name. Was a staff member at the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Macfrel. I am also not going to comment on this one either. Was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Kodopian embassy as well.
Mr. Deidman? Jesus!
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't go out with you today. Because my parents apparently called me that, so I could fall over dead any second now. Don't worry about it, my guy. First of all, claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu, but that he did not kill Dyed Man. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down well in the spotlight if he's found guilty. There truly is no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Ashwell. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could be clearly seen from the visitors' gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant rejected his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatagarasu Burn Faraday. Fire? I don't know how to say that one. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to be simply the murder of a Kodopian embassy staff member, people are actually referring to it as a second KG-8 incident. Second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I think I failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, it's information and only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? Oh. I love Frieren. I'm glad I watched the anime. And I am going to continue buying the manga because I had started buying it, but then I was like, oh, you know what, I'm not really into it yet. But I think I'm gonna continue now. But yeah, it's just, I mean, they were consistent with it. They just, I'm assuming, honestly, I don't know how else to say this, but I'm assuming that whoever was responsible for the names in Frieren literally just bought a German dictionary or something and was like, and then just ran with it. I think they just ran with it. They were like, because in some cases you think, okay, those names could maybe add up to something more sinister, like one of the antagonists being like literally called evil or whatever. And then some others is just like, why is she called freezing? She doesn't use ice magic. She just uses all kinds of magic, and it already falls apart again. Why is Himmel called Himmel? Why is he just called the sky? To be fair, the name sky exists as well, so sure, why not call someone the same thing in German? Except in German it is not an established actual name. No one here can name their child just Himmel. Absolutely. It's just interesting to see. But Ace Attorney puns, I think the very harshest game is still going to be the 6th one. And we're not anywhere close to that one yet. But I Be Your Guy is for sure going to be a name once we reach that game, so they're trying. They're making some of them so obvious, you're just like, what? And some of them I don't actually see or don't actually understand as well immediately, but it's fun. It's all in good fun. But seriously, Dyed Man. Wow, really? That's the guy who's dead now? That's the guy who got murdered in this murder case? No way, right? What? No. seeing a child going, I'm a beautiful daughter. You have to give them some credit though. They're trying very hard and actually kind of succeeding in calling her that. Like actually saying it out loud, because anything that has a U in it, I've heard from people who try to learn German. They're like, how do you say this? How do I say the letter U? And I don't know how to explain either. I can just tell you. I can just say it over and over, but I cannot explain to you. It's just something I know how to say, right? So like them going, you baloo, you something along those lines is at least close enough. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a faithful localization. It's just whoever is on the team there, I love the work. You seem to be a reference to chamomile, the tea that makes you sleepy. Chamomile. Oh. Yeah. That's why she's always so sleepy. Okay, sure. I like chamomile tea. Chamomile. Sir, what do you mean by the second KG8 incident? I keep trying to say KG9. I don't know why. In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. Reference materials regarding the KG8 incident I received from my mentor. Yeah. I think works better, but for some reason U is the one that's really hard. Apparently. You've heard of the Amano group scandal before, correct? I don't know. Let me check this. Utopian Embassy staff member Manny Kochin found not guilty. The victim is CCU. Shared over the Amano group. What's his relation to the smuggling ring? CCU. Okay. It's so fun, right? It's so fun. As soon as you know about DL6 and everything, and every time I see Konkama again, I'm just like, this man just has it in there the entire time. For years. He just has a bullet in his arm. What the fuck? I still like, maybe, yeah. You've heard of the Amano group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano group's director, was arrested. Under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU was an employee of the Amano group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't the Cadopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Cadopian by the name of Manny Kochin was the suspect. However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? If only I was in charge of the case. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure all criminals are found guilty. My mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was as pathetic as ever. So Faraday was in charge of the KG8 incident as well? That's right. I don't even want to know what his arm must look like. Like, rather, that thing must be infested to no end. And now, once again, the victim of the case you're currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against a smuggling organization. It's like last time the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against a smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG8 incident. I keep also trying to say accident. So that's why it's being called the second KG8 incident? Yes. Yet there's one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief yet the goddess. The goddess. Gotta find out more. Still, I mean, we don't know exactly where in his arm, aside from like upper area. Like, I don't think it's healthy to just have something in there, like, you know, because it's not. What's that called in English? Since it's something external, I don't think your body usually reacts to that very well. If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kodokian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or, more likely, to steal secrets from the Kodokian embassy itself. Since the item that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have to be the first time the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG8 incident and the Yatagarasu case? Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. Oh! What is it, little girl?
You're scary, mister.
Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
Excuse me? Fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Thanks, that's exactly what I needed.
I'm assuming she wants to buy something and she needed an actual dollar? Would that child be here to watch the trial? Not disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Pray fucking tell, by the way, sorry, I just realized, but why does this child already have the blue badger on his shirt? When did the blue badger come into being? 7 years ago? Really? Was the blue badger already a thing then? I never keep up with the timeline in these fucking games. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore?
Yap, 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 yap.
I'm like, wait. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete. Why, do you know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I'm so sorry. And have you mopping up the courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant? It's no bother, sir. Not being completely repaired could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. I'm proud one you are. You better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for you to debut, Ashworth. It's not in the original spice. It's like, wait. Hold on. This guy hasn't even been around that long. What do you mean? Why is this child is a time traveler? So why are we the only ones here? Just what's going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either?
Hi, good evening.
Believe, where's Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh, the judge's legs! Fuck. Ah, you must be the one Mr. Funkama recommended. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. By the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a papa going on. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial is about to resume, however... Yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar, without the evidence from Faraday. What's a blasted buffoon up to? It's an emergency, sirs! Oh, never mind. Wrong voice. Silence! There shall be no yelling in the sacred hall of law! He yelled. Calmly. Harry, did you put your name in a goblet of fire? Type. Yelling. Bailiff, remove the man from this courtroom at once. Aww. Please, wait. You have to listen to me. It's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. 2 of them. They're both dead, Your Honor. Huh? What? Huh? What? Young judges for justice, it says in the back. Hello? Why is there an ant farm there? Stay back. No one's allowed on a crime scene, period. What is this oddball think he is? Why is he almost monochrome? Hello? It's becoming quite the hotspot. And she Mr. Wells' defense attorney. Also, what the $7 for a hot dog out of a fucking... Nah. 8 for a ham sandwich. $8 for a ham sandwich out of a machine, bruh. Hey you, no running in the hallway, pal. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. What is happening here? The sofa looks like it's seen its fair share of use, and it looks like another part of the courthouse is visible from the window. Ah, nice of luck with my reflection's eyes in a barred window. As soon as I come, I refuse to back down. Are you stupid? I won. What is wrong with this man? Why? Credit card accepted. Interesting, they're selling special code-themed food products here. Many of them seem sort of troublesome and suspicious. Objection! I suppose. What? Drink vending machine? Now is not the time to be pondering what kind of drink I want. Now is the perfect time to be pondering what drink you want. Let's see here. Post of the judge. There's a longer slogan of some sort in tiny letters at the bottom. Every strike of my gavel brings the truth closer to me and my hair farther away. This is a promotional poster for the quarter hair growth product. Fine, extinguisher. If one were to be hit in the head with this, I suppose the victim would lose a memory or two. Yeah, we've had that happen before. Actually. It's not as though I'd ever be so foolish just to be struck by one of these. Excuse me? Was machst du da? Okay. He's only the judge. He doesn't get a name. Hello. Yo. And you are? Oh, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a district prosecutor. Prosecutor. Never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal. I've told you my name. Now, would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe, and just recently achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream, that's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe we should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. So just an amazing force over his job. Judge. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know, I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that. But it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know. Behoove! I am going to behoove you as well, my god. Behoove. Why does the orange juice cost $9? What? Meow! What? Stop! That's it. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh.
Hello, number 2.
Can I stream Ace Attorney? Any Ace Attorney? Without interruptions? Just once? Is that possible? Do you think?
No.
Do you think that's possible? Okay.
Me.
Only one cat left now.
I want you to pay attention to me now.
Funniest thing is, number 1 left. Number 1 left because number 2 showed up.
And he was like, me. I don't like it when the other one is here as well. And he left. And now number 2 is on my left,
But he's not going to stay there for very long, probably.
You could though. I could stream and you could watch and then we'd both be happy and then I
Wouldn't have to get up as often. Inflation is a serious problem in Japan, California. It definitely is. See, they might not have been as up to date as the phones and everything else when it comes to what kind of tech everyone is using in these games could be in the timeline. But they sure knew about inflation. He just wants pads, definitely.
Problem is just I cannot reach the controller like this. Can't reach the controller. If I move my arm, you're going to leave, aren't you?
Remember talking English to the cat. The cat will not be able to understand me.
You're monolingual, aren't you? You only understand one language, and that language is food and pets. And let me go. Let me go.
It would behoove you. Why does this man use so many complicated words? Come on. Wow, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Have I tried Uber though?
Have I tried Uber? Have I tried Uber with you?
Yes. He looks at me funny if I do that. Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge. So you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? Oh, that's a detective. Okay. That's something who's guarding the door to defend lobby number 2.
Ow!
So you were on guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Oh, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot and then I kind of froze. You detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much? Oh, so that's the guy who's afraid of elevators. Then again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one close or see. Then Detective Bad came running to the scene. We went to lobby number 2 together and both men were lying there dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion. I was in hall on guard duty, other than gunshot, didn't hear a sign of struggle. That's interesting, yeah. Murderer. Who are you? Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this. I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. The Faraday substitute is a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madam, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. Don't do that. Do not take me for some naive novice. You are a naive novice. Even if you studied under the great von Karma. Do not take me for some naive novice. So you're a student of von Karma? I should have. Let's close that dead giveaway. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. Just kidding. We're just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. And if you're telling the truth, then we were about to go head-to-head in court. Of course, I've heard much about you, Miss Yu. But of course, I've heard much about you. You're regular Shakespeare. Did you say something funny? Yes, it's your entire way of speaking, my guy. I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here? What's so funny? It's just the way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine, don't worry about it. Alright. Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Taro Bad. Homicide. Homicide! I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect a body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here. Oh. I've already contacted HQ about the situation. But why are you almost monochrome, my guy? I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? Kid? How old is this man? Oh, Faraday's 14. Okay. We don't know how old the judge is. Rookie detective, first crime scene, seems very enthusiastic. 53, eagle-eyed homicide detective, was called in to be expert witness on the Yatagata case. She's 22! Alright. Died man. I'm in love with the cool. I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me in the situation. Please. Head back down, you have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. How dare you trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Macbro, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Was there anyone else who went into the defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, the big luck over there. His name's Gumshoe. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience.
This guy is also really testing my patience. Yeah? You're also really testing my patience.
That's his basic animation on his sprite always. It's just a eyebrow thing. I cannot do them one by one. I can only do both. I was not informed that you were going to testify in court. Homicides are my only gig, the Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So we are called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics, in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was a Yatagarasu or not. Well, looks like you just might have a brain after all ahead of you or so. Son, I'm not your son, Pops. It's you. There's someone here who wishes to see you. Who is it? A Cadopian embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin. What? What's going on? If bad Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin? I'll be right there. It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu. Why are you here? I've no desire to ever see you again. No, actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. Bad. On karma. It's been a long time. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Yatagarasu is involved, and I see this case is no exception. Do you know Detective Pat, sir? Yes, he's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's a crime scene where detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on though, the man that I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG aid incident? So I was right. Just what is that man doing wandering around here? Faraday, can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile. I'll prove his guilt in 3 minutes. On karma. I think you said enough for now. It's a poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well. Back on topic. I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation. Oh my god! How can you place him in charge? Francisca, what are you doing here? What the fuck? I'm here for summer vacation, what else? You're... Oh my god, what is that outfit? Francisca von Karma, so she's here on vacation from Germany. He's the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a student of his who's also junior to me. You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it. Okay. You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you? Yeah. If you were able to pass, then I have absolutely no trouble at all. I never allow myself to lose to you, never. You shouldn't even be able to go and do that. You are way too young. Why does she always have to be this competitive? Anyway, Papa, are you really signing Mount Edgeworth to cover the case? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I'm 100% confident I can do a better job than him. How old are you supposed to be here? 13? 13? You should be out playing with your friends. It's just like Francisca. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Oh, she definitely does. Bad. Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. Ha! What? You want me to let both of these kids loose on a crime scene? This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on the prosecutorial scale. Blah, blah, blah. A crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with the authority over this crime scene, bad. And I will not tolerate complaining. Edgeworth, Francisca, I'll leave this case to the two of you. That is so crazy to me. I mean, I understand. Okay, yeah, sure. She's his daughter. He would call her by her first name. But you're telling me he doesn't even call Miles Miles? Did you not actually adopt him or anything? Like, that is... No, that's crazy to me. Understood, sir.
Yes, Papa.
I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me. She does. You know what? In her outfit, hold on, Funkam, I still haven't agreed to this, but you just left the scene. She looks like she could go riding in her outfit. Like, in those boots. No, I genuinely don't think she even has any friends to be out and playing with, but she should have been. She's 13, she should have been out playing with friends and not studying to become a prosecutor at the right age of 14. That is crazy.
Also, hi Papa, thank you for the resub. Yay! Enjoy.
Miles Edgeworth, why do you also... You call everyone by their full name, never mind. It's been quite some time, Francisca.
This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Fonkama name.
Well, seeing as you actually have the Fonkama name and my last name is Edgeworth, would it kill you to at least say hello?
Long time no see.
Very good.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
She hasn't changed a bit. She does hit people with it.
Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Fonkama name.
Crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter. No, she's just standing there like, what the fuck? Looks like Mr. Fonkama was successful in convincing the detective. Just like him, he never faints. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bat. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bat will be a most arduous task. Oh! What the hell? It's the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously.
Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they're finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I want to say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Fonkama name.
No, actually. This is a murder case and two people are lying dead on the ground literally right next to you. Maybe we should focus on that. Competition.
The person that figures out the truth first wins.
So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name?
Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolishly foolish mouth.
Fine. Whatever makes you happy.
Can I take that as you accepting my challenge?
Once again, whatever makes you happy.
Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am.
Keen to discover the truth behind a crime, how delightfully childish. You kids over there. It.
Serves you right, Miles. He just called you kid.
You too, girly. We're both kids in his eyes. He's like more than triple your age. I said kids, kid.
How dare you call me a kid as well? You are literally younger.
Then well, okay, she's 13. She's 13 and has a massive ego. I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus in my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You're going to watch over these two. Yes, sir. Detective Bat, sir. Do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You better not get in our way, Scruffy. You feel the bite of my whip if you do. Huh? Then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Not even that detective is treating me like a child. Right, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy! My name is Mel Sedgwood. If you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. They started doing that this early. He just became a detective. Oh man, Gumshoe doesn't have it easy. What will you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? That's up to you now, isn't it? Ready? It's good, pal. You're so naive. Oh my god. Okay. Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the man acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Cadobian embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented. But then why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait, what if? It's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? You are a child! Brother. Both you and Francisca are children. Look, like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then countered it. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel that's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence so as to protect the honor of the von Karma name. The window is open and there's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly. You think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? Oh, at least there's no way someone escaped through this window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell flowers after 4 on the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows? No human can climb through these barred windows to send the flowers in the air. See? It's an Ace Attorney game, and every time someone goes, oh, no human blah 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 could do blah blah blah, I'm like, yes. No human could. I see. But we haven't been introduced to any animals in this case yet. Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right? Thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice.
Question. Ich halt hin. Come here.
Thank you, Verinian Binary. The red truth discussions, and I'll say it in red. Yeah. Now he's looking at me all sad. It's the same thing every day. Every single time I try to stream, it's like, no,
I want to be pet now.
okay. And what if the culprit was human? Yes, definitely. There's some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Tea set and plastic bags stacked up on the table are completely undisturbed. Maybe they were super quiet in a scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know. Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off. Okay. Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? The TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. Then perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. Oh! Well, this is normal size for you. Aha, yeah, okay, Mr. Rich Kid. Let me see here. This thing is huge. And way too noisy. You and the noisy one, Scruffy. Don't touch it, you get your fingerprints all over it. But I didn't touch it. Observation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. Foundation, huh? Sounds like something a rookie here needs to show up on. And a plastic bag scattered all around. Bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know that much, Detective. Sure good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy... Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men? Plastic bags used to store evidence are strewn all over the floor. Can I check out the bodies? Yes. Ah. Looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rao. First glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only logical conclusion is aha! What's that outburst for? My detective's instinct just hit me real hard. It's Mr. Rao that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that. It's common sense. Suppose we won't know much more than that until after examining the bodies. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Yes. Oh, let me look at the gun. Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. They shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun. I guess that does seem kind of strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? It's not exactly rocket science, even I know how to pull the trigger. Although I doubt they'll ever need to use one. I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal. Sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hand. Guess that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand. Faraday's evidence from embassy staff killing case was found in his hand. I fucking love Gumshoe. I love that guy so much. Looks like Mr. Rell died with a knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. Then he must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it. Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage. Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I believe Faraday brought this as evidence it was found in Rell's hand. Some of the guys of all time, for sure. For sure. What's that on your hand, my guy? It sounds all black down here, see? I wonder what it could be. If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. There is ink on his left hand. Why is there ink in such a place anyway? An ink stain? Yes, I do usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen. Feather pen? I've never seen one before. Sure you aren't just making it up, pal? Mr. Val's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. If that was bad enough, it's truly lamentable as someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? Can you confirm Mr. Val's cause of death with his body positioned like that? Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible. What's this? You're not able to form a theory then the way they are? I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you? I suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it. Levy. Yes, sir. We're taking enough photos of the scene, sir. And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch the thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will you? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Yeah, sure. Do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. This poor man. Oh! There's a knife wound in his chest here, see? I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rudd is holding. Levy. Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir. Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rudd is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. What about the gunshot? Shot in the chest. It's guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That must mean... burn marks? A burn grows very hard as it's discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, Mr. Rell must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. All that killed Rell was fired from a few yards away. Sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently, this detective has as much common knowledge as the everyday marsupial. Of all the animals you could have chosen? What is wrong with Edgeworth? Genuinely. What's in that brain? I want... what? There's something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen. Fountain pen in Mr. Faraday's pocket has an especially nice nib. Wow, that's important. And I always keep a pencil behind my ear. Because Detective Bad is always telling me. You should always write your name on everything you own. Yeah, somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from the day's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired. However, Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory in any case. Oh yeah, excuse me for my English failing me, but it's just... why is he like that? The house he grew up in was crazy for sure. What a crazy way to go. Yeah, no, I immediately thought of Masupilami for some reason. So I'm just like, Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right. I believe in overthermographs and what happened here. I know. I know that's not an actual animal. Anyway, the fountain pen and the ink stain probably go together. Especially Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be ink from his fountain pen. Ah, it's that's the lab guy. Detective Gumshoe, I confirm that the substance of Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen. See, good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. Mr. Faraday wrote with this fountain pen in his left hand. I think it's fair to assume he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well. What? You think an actual Marsupilami IRL would be terrifying? No. What? No. Okay, if you say so, pal. Fountain pen used by the left-handed Faraday looks like it has a quality nib. Okay, nib. There's a very tidy pile of plastic bags on a table. And yet, a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another reason. I believe it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Please get the blood away from me, pal. Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag? Hold on, let me ask the lab guy. Alright, please hurry. Until you get a load of this, pal, it's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said they didn't find anything else on or in the bag either. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. If you say so, I'll leave it in your hands, pal. Thank you. One of the bags strewn on the floor of lobby number 2 has Faraday's blood on it. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No, I can't conclude that quite yet. Yeah, I can't stand the sight of blood. Oh, believe me. At work, we had someone... Oh my god, what's that person you designate for, like, emergencies? Like, the first aid helper? Like, you not just designate them to be that, so, but they actually have to take courses in that. Anyway, the lady we had for the longest time, who was also a designated first aid helper or whatever, cannot stand the sight of blood. I'm just like, what if I really hurt myself badly? And I'm bleeding? And she's the one I need to go to, right? And she can't stand the sight of blood. I'm like, girl, excuse me. It was so funny. It was so unbelievably funny. Thinking about it now, when I had a giant nosebleed at work, and I was in the bathroom and like just bleeding all of the blood into the drain, and she stood outside the door and she's like, I'm so sorry, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, fine. Oh, don't turn around, don't turn around. Here's tissues, here's everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, why are you our first aid helper if you cannot stand the sight of blood? She tried so hard. She tried so hard, but yeah, no. This is very fascinating. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply kill one another is too simplistic in this case. In fact, there's actually a contradiction that shows there's another possibility. The funniest thing is it happened twice. It happened twice that I had one of those trademark nosebleeds, and both times she was just there. I'm so sorry, I can't help you. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to turn around so you don't have to see any of the blood. And she was just, I mean, and especially with a big nosebleed like that, it starts smelling, right? Like you can actually, as soon as you have such a big amount of blood, you can really smell it. And she started looking sick. I'm like, why of all people are you our first aid personnel? I'm sorry. There is absolutely no way. Like, what do you even do? Like, it was just a natural nosebleed and not even, oh, I don't know. one of the scissors fell down and into my foot or whatever. Blah blah blah. What would you have done then? Huh? Oh yeah. That was fascinating. Haven't had one of those nosebleeds in a time though, and I'm hoping it stays that way. I suppose I'll just have to show you the contradiction in this crime scene. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. Mr. Faraday uses left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet the handgun is in his right hand. Did you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? No, this is Japanese actually. Tonight we're playing with Japanese voices. Well, we don't have her anymore, so... And everyone who's still left, and we're all okay with blood, I think. Obviously, you don't want anyone to actually be hurt in the first place, but I think we're all okay with blood now. And voila! No, I can't. I cannot tell you what it is he's saying, but it's Japanese. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a great contradiction haunting this crime scene. Hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. How could something like that happen? The facts add up to one conclusion and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Someone else? Plastic bag settled on the floor and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us. Alright. Here's the autopsy report. It's probable that Mr. Rell survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from his stabbing. Interesting. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case. Are you sure we know everything? Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and tried to kill the defendant. The defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. It's all very clear and simple. There is absolutely no margin for doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you? That you don't want to believe it's true? It's alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is. That is a completely different voice than I gave her like half an hour ago, but it's whatever. No worry, I will. Ooh, let's do it. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous while Mr. Rell survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. And Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore you must have attacked first. Proving the logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should first look for any holes in her theory. Sir believed that the dying Mr. Rell stole the knife from Mr. Faraday. Mr. Rell became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. So the two men struggled. And in the end, Mr. Rell was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of this room is a testament to their struggle. Yes, my logic is perfect. Perfectly sound. Can you really say that it's perfect? What are you insinuating? Nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide by without further inquiry. What must be clear and precise, so if you could append a statement to your testimony. Fine. See, here, you know what my problem would be if anyone ever asked me for testimony and then to repeat myself? I would have no idea what I said like literally a second ago, and trying to like put anything in there and be like, oh yeah, but earlier you said, here's the exact tone and words I used, and I'm like, I guess, yeah, that might have been what I said. So, I hate when he does that move. Because you can see exactly where he got it from, and it's so horrible. The two men were fighting. The struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Detective comes to testify that he heard absolutely nothing. You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know? But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Rell get his hands on a knife? Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It's not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rell saw a chance and took it out at some point. Yeah, no, absolutely. And you do have people writing the record and everything as well. Thank you for the idle time and the pad. So what you're saying is this: Mr. Rell took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed. I wonder why it didn't count a pet. Oh, maybe. Maybe. So. Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? Oh, fuck, no! No, I wanted to say there's something strange. No. Owie. I didn't mean to say that. I was trying to...
Ah, Iani.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think if you're a witness to a murder case, you would not usually be this calm and collected in a courthouse to try and talk about it. So, like, even people, you're not even necessarily lying, but you might accidentally omit something because, like, you're trying to recall the scene of a murder. Like, usually people are not that collected. Because usually you don't actually witness many murders in your life. If at all. Yeah, the time being off is my greatest thing, because I'm always like, brother, I don't. Unless I specifically look at a clock. Oh, I have looked at the clock like 5 minutes ago. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the exact time was. I don't know, maybe around 9. What were you doing yesterday at 10:45? Yes. What was I doing at 10:45 yesterday? I was in bed. I think I was quite literally already asleep because I went to bed really early yesterday. Because I was tired as hell. According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could not possibly have fired the gun after that. Do you actually think I looked at my watch directly after seeing that guy get stabbed? Yeah, right. Oh, you got me. But of course. Well then, if the report is correct, then there's only one correct explanation. If you suppose that Mr. Rell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rell. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot, then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense. Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Francisca. I just wanted to explain it to you simply as possible. Before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid. I'd still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Francisca, you've still got a ways to go.
What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic?
Mr. Faraday died instantly, and the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in the scene. The contradiction here in this crime scene is the bodies fell. Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Ralph. Then, the wounded Mr. Ralph found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot and Mr. Ralph died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which our bodies are piled.
No!
Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Ralph's. Therefore, Mr. Ralph must have died before Mr. Faraday.
Impossible.
Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must solve is...
No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth.
What now?
I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. I know it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
You sure bounce back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Alright.
It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Ralph's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order.
I just know that Francisca's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Yeah, she's on vacation, as she told you. She's on vacation. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time?
I assume Mr. Faraday had two different weapons in his hands. How would they have attacked each other at the same time?
They would have had to be even closer together if they had attacked each other at the same time to then fall on top of each other like this. But we don't see any burn marks near the bullet wound, so no.
I assume Mr. Faraday had two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Ralph while holding both the knife and revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Ralph grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Ralph wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, that is more than possible.
Yes, it's possible, but...
Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got.
Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony.
I don't see any point to that, but as you please.
Yeah, they really drew that just that one sprite of him, and we're like, you know what? This is the one we're gonna use the entire time now. No, they did not attack each other from a close range, girl. You play as Attorney Danganronpa during vacation, so never mind, she's good. See? You believe they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible. Yes, it is written in the crime scene notes. The firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Ralph's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Ralph and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. How much is a yard? This is by far the biggest contradiction. Two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Ralph moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation.
What a completely foolish and a foolish shot from a thoroughly foolish fool. If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who?
Yeah, I keep doing it. I keep going like, oh my god. It's one of the sprites I really don't like on him. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus there can only be one explanation. Oh, almost 3 meters then, okay. There was a third person here. There was a third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao. And set the bodies up to make it look like a double murder. The third person is the real culprit. Well, Satchworth, there's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct? Exactly. Everything you said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime? Of course. If a third person was truly here, the fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. Prove that this has all been a setup made to look like they killed each other. I presented and laid bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is a piece of evidence that proves there's a third person involved? The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. You didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood spatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held a knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood spatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. He takes very big breaths. Looks like we still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes. What the heck's up with you, pal? That's too bad. I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe and the rest. Kind of tall for a 13-year-old, maybe. What? She also has slight heels on her shoes. What's the meaning of this? Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't shoot there. The detective claims he was there standing in front of the door the entire time. I have it on good authority that is all a giant lie. Ooh. Monsieur, I ask that you please explain our last statement. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. What? See, Mr. Bad? To ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? I'm sure. Did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir! It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is a detective. Which basically renders his testimony complete lie and wholly invalid. Looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. Is this statement really a lie? Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Spit out the truth, or so help me. I haven't lied to anyone, sir. Honest. I really was really there. I was in the hallway the whole time. What the? Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I'm the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? Should I ask Detective Gumshoe about motive for the murders? I suppose the one thing I'd like to be clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
No, sir, not me. No single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir.
Is that a fact? You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I'm not lying.
The more naturally you act, the more suspicious you become, you know? If you want a motive, Ashworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flight so fancy. Because all I'm interested in is a perfect explanation. You serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. I love her. It was about a week ago. I saw a detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. You said the super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "It's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. It's reason enough for a grudge? How's that for the perfect explanation? Totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge. Quiet. You can trust anything you say. Sir. Something wrong with the motive she proposed per se. There's some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Let's use perfect explanation. It may not be so perfect at all. Switching over. Maybe the earrings are just very, very cheap plastic and don't weigh much. I mean, sure, okay. That's one, but...
What's up?
What about there's two people dead? Fully explanation perfect. Isn't that to your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes, absolutely.
Hi, Raiders! Welcome in. Good evening. Hi, Jin. Hi. I'm new. I like the color pink. Vision of his JRPGs. We're currently playing Ace Attorney Investigations. We're on the 4th case. How you doing? Ooh, you were playing just chatting. What were you? What were you chatting about? Welcome in.
Pikachu for the Raiders, of course.
Pikachu. Pika. Pikachu.
Ooh, horror games in October. Oh, that makes sense. I should try and see if they have some horror games for October as well. I didn't really try last year to find any games fitting for the season.
Welcome.
So did you find any games? You've played Little Nightmares before, I think, if I remember correctly. Horror games. I'm not big. I don't know a single horror game off the top of my head that I could recommend. I do. There was a visual novel I played 2 years ago during October. That was it's called Neighbor. That one was really good. What other horror games? I'm gonna have to do further research. Oh, okay. Horror games. What other horror games do I know off the top of my head? Neighbor was... Let me look up how... Well, it took me 2 streams, 6 hours. But that's because I had to read out everything myself. Because it's not voiced. But yeah, it was a good game.
I don't... Oh, man.
I had a horror section at some point on one of my Steam games, but I did away with that one. Let me see, what else do I have? Not really that scary. I don't actually play too many horror games. The Yumavari games, I don't know if those are of any interest to you. Those are technically definitely horror games. What else do I have? Yumavari. Wait, hold on. I'll type it out for you. There's 3 games at this point. I played the first one, but I didn't. They're good games, and I love the music, but wow, they scare me. So, I guess Killer Frequencies also. I guess it could count as horror. There's a murderer in town, and you're trying to help people not get murdered while you're hosting a radio show. Played that one only recently, was very nice. Eep, which is a very classic RPG Maker horror game. Yeah. Any of the older RPG Maker horror games, basically. Witch's House, Eep, Misao, I think only recently got like a more HD release on Steam as well. Eep did get a newer version. Witch's House has a newer version already. Okay, I do know a few horror games, actually. 3 games would certainly cover those streams. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll have to see if I have any horror games that I still have to play. But I think we're kind of filled out with the games I'm trying to play, so I don't know if I'll do anything special for October.
Anyone else raise an objection in Japanese?
As soon as the game actually lets me do something again. Hello? Oh, there we go. Alright, if you go clear this one thing up for me.
Motif for killing Mr. Rao.
We do. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rao? Justice system as attorney can be terrifying. His motive for killing Rao? Like I would know. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred, wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the 2 men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. Hello, Ray! Oh my god! Double raid!
Hi! Hi, Raiders! I'm new and like the color pink, vision of Zerbages. Hello! Hello, hello, how are you?
Oh,
nice! Both of those shoutouts actually went through. I am very proud of myself. Thank you.
Well, come in! I'm new and like the color pink, vision of Zerbages. We're currently playing Ace Attorney Investigations. We're on case 4! Also Pikachu for the Raiders. Absolutely.
Pikachu! Pika Pika! Pikachu! How are you? How was your stream? Ale and Tail Tavern.
Ooh. I think I saw that one on the Steam homepage, but I didn't check it out further. I hope you had a fun stream! That's impossible. She must know something. Wait! Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. Didn't even do anything, you're already laughing anyway. No way. I love her. Well, anyway, in the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the 2, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh. Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight is a requisite trait for being a funkama.
Malsachwit, I demand that you shut this rude woman up.
I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second. Oh well, I guess I just have to explain it to you kids. Motive to kill the man. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rao, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. I don't think that's true. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. Second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member, and the two men who both were never suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who's somehow related to them? Yeah. Let's see.
There's no one out there with a motive. I don't think that's true.
There we go. Monsieur, I believe there's someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao. I can think of at least one person who fits the bill. He was a suspect in the original KG-8 incident, and a member of the Kodobian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Kodobian embassy staff, Mr. Rao, and the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! Yeah. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. Perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. I didn't do it! You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time. And why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Also, I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Then the only suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way. Come on, Detective Bad, you gotta believe me, sir. I really was in a hallway the whole time, sir. Never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? Wait, no, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of the crime scene all by himself. It's as good a confession as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. If the detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you think he would at the very least suffer out by spaced out while on duty or the like. Come on, Gumshoe, time for your interrogation. Aww. Just bad. Why is the judge also breathing so heavily? Miles Ashworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as I say, is right. Is that right, everyone? Okay. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, Monsieur, there's something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? She can't stop laughing at us, it's so funny. So, what did you want to ask me about? The current case of the murdered Kodobian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more, since you're directly tied to the KG-8 incident. I'd appreciate it if you stop with the false accusations. Racist outbursts are used both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here. Think you can stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me? If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related to the KG-8 incident she is. Monsieur, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident. The file is your proof? Very well then. Wait, what's your first name actually? Listo you. Oh no, it's a panel. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident?
To the victim.
Your connection to the KG-8 incident is sort of a victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will know that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face if you're not related to this case? Sorry, but we're not related. What? Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face. But I couldn't help it. Monsieur, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. Ooh, let's go. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU. As I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial. By Manny Kochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his Kashi life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Kochin's trial was over. Apparently a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence had been tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of his secretaries. They bailed Mr. Kochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along. How big was the smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense. On this case, that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think the case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Why did Mr. Kochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently he only found out that I was a defense lawyer in this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it, the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. She talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. But just as Mr. Bad said, he's not related to the double murder. Asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Actually, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work up my own way and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go. I'm making no such face. Did you know? Laughter's the best medicine, actually. Did you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of the world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. Oh man, my guy, that is so sad. Why would you say that? There you go, making a face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. Initiate incident in this murder investigation. It's my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Last said Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over. But whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Stefan Kalm, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name is Mal Satchworth.
Wow.
Sure, I would like to save my progress, thank you. Alright. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Kodopian embassy staff member's murder? Thank you. Yes, I'll save again. Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead. The case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely. Looks like you have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you think about the murder of the Kodopian embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao? What an outrageous circus it has all become. The Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus. An outrageous circus, right, sir? I go very off this topic. Ashworth, I will have you assigned to a different case.
Papa, you come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you?
I'll consider it. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for. I know that there's already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao. However, there's not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. Perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection.
Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case so much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue? In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Ashworth, Francisco, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir.
Of course, Papa.
Francisco, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was pulled on a scruffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished.
I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on that investigation from here, Miles Satchworth.
I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved in this case. What is this guy doing? It's not the water, sir. Seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much.
Bunch of fools who pretend to not see the foolish actions of a foolish fool.
Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand?
As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, the water drinking fool's mouth is the thing the officer should be covering. Let's give the officer a description of the water guzzler later.
You have quite a grudge. Sounds to me like someone wanted a drink. And what's this guy doing? Sir, nothing to report, sir. Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job?
Looks like I have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guy kind of found an awakening nightmare after being awakened from his dream.
Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now.
Oh, Jesus. Hi.
Miss you. Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And who are you? You were at the crime scene just now, weren't you?
You've done 2 lists of horror games? Nice!
Well, if you do get around to playing any of them, absolutely let me know what you thought of them after. If I remember any more that I could recommend to you, I'll just DM you those.
You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I'm Franziska von Karma and I'm about to become the successor to the family name.
About to? I guess that means that for now you're still just another kid.
Franziska von Small now, yeah, she's 13 here.
In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are.
But...
why are you whipping me? Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. But there's one thing I can stand, it's biting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask of you. Look at you! Eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that 2 hours ago, you... What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. I feel much better now. So what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were defending lobby number 1 the whole time up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad. Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. So I take it you are acquaintances with Detective Bad? Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG-8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident. That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth?
Miles Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG-8 incident from my papa, but how does that case relate to you, Miss Mew?
The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. You're making a super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded pride every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that, she laughs away is kind of creepy. Again. Speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was probably a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. See, he did mention that he's in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. Oh, okay. You claim that at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad. But don't you know lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody. When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. Let's see. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Macro. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that I was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG-8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. And so Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. He had just made that up. He made it up. Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there's no footage of him sneaking into the Kodopian embassy itself.
Hold on for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you knew that he was not the real Yatagarasu? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer? And you were ready to defend him?
Yes, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals?
That's why defense lawyers are so detestable. But they're no match for us von Karmas.
I think I think it is very good that they get laughed at. It is very, very good. Please. I don't believe it, you're serious. Why don't you save the face for something really worth being serious about? And that's what, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth, I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. L was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. Monsieur, I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarase. Yatagarase, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Yatagarase isn't some petty thief out for money, you know? Alright then, perhaps the Yatagarase is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? Franziska, be careful about who you with. Choose carefully or we may be sued by... There. I chose carefully, just like you wanted. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was. What's wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them the lives? And, so in the end, what is the Yatagarase? I have to say I'd never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarase deals in information, namely in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the like of companies. The Yatagarase is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way too. Either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Monsieur is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Monsieur. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Sure. She does have a beauty mark, yeah. Funniest thing to me is just that because I think she has them on both sides, or they just didn't bother to make a difference depending on which way she's facing. No, they just didn't bother with the sprite, but she technically only has it under her right eye. This man is only 24, he looks older. What the fuck?
I am here.
Detective Gumshoe. Alright, it's you, pal. You're here. Youch. You're the cop saluting while he sleeps. I'm the guy looking at the miniature model. As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear my honor as a detective. I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so even had you not requested me to, detective. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective about the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in an unusual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. Pathetic for a detective to be comparable to a mere school child. Oh, come on. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so and from whom?
earlier at around 3:20 and from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn, so I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet something did happen to him, correct? Looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. Ow. Your words sting worse than your... Wait, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me? No, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you're carrying on your personage. Ah, wait, you can't do that. There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bat, so, you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Hands off, pal. Just show it to us already. Bonus! Annual bonus check within. $5 total, except there's no check in sight. Get your look now, give it back, pal. My first bonus is a brand new detective. Scott didn't cash it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know? Oh no. So envelope is really special to me, now give it back. You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later. For you. Detective Gumshoe's annual bonus of $5 literally had no money on him until he cashed it. Literally. I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I saw you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with the Detective Gumshoe. Understood. Please make it brief, sir. This man has never been able to catch a break, ever, no. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony when a crime occurred is the truth. Sure. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. Then you're also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct? Yep, not even a single ant passed through the hall while I was on duty. You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself. Huh? Oh. It's true. I didn't see anyone go through the hallway and I didn't hear anything else, pal. But the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. Why would he do so given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. What? Hello? Huh? How could you not have noticed that coming? Wasn't that the child I changed money for earlier? Girl, what the fuck? Kids can sometimes be so cruel. Looks like she dropped something. Swiss roll, dropped by the mysterious young girl. It says courthouse special on it. Maybe you should arrest the girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. I don't think you're usually allowed to arrest people if you have no suspicion or any evidence of their wrongdoing, so you could go and arrest them, you know. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. What the fuck was that? I believe I've asked all that I need of this man now for Detective Bad and the judge. You have to confirm who's correct, the judge or the scruff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Francisca? Yes, you should. So, did you see anything else?
No, I don't think so. Let me see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Well, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. He's so small. Once you actually see him just standing upright and not sitting down, that's crazy. That'll be all for now. Ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, detective. Now, if you excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Ah, you're a new prosecutor Mr. Fukama recommended, right? He shouldn't have legs. It looks so wrong. My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. And I'm Manfred Fukama's daughter, Franziska Fukama. I'm set to become successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Mr. Fukama, Miles Edgeworth, and I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss Fukama, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Very well then. I shall call you Miss Fukama and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now, about your earlier testimony? Yes. What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. Alright. After all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movements. Talk to him, then. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well. You may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh, I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? Oh! Oh, he looks so... When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look at the window at the end of this hall, you see a small window. That's the window to the man's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the man's restroom. Okay. When I was going into the restroom, the detective... Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Maybe he was just lowering himself. You know, if he wasn't standing upright, you might just not have seen him anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, it just sort of brushed it off. Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm going to find out from His Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Anytime, Mr. Edgeworth, anytime. Judges in this country seem rather friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. What are you looking for? Did you find something, officer? I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on. Just a little more. Listen, no one working this crime scene isn't a total waste of living tissue. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Oh my god, both of you together? You are so... Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Am I allowed? No, I'm not allowed to leave this area. Okay. Goodness gracious. Huh, okay. Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire about. Hey, how about doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Funkama himself, plus I still hold investigative authority. Investigative? So I hear you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here? Faraday. My guy was just accused, you know? I just knew something was gonna happen. The detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did you. You couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor with it.
What's up?
Francisca, I think you need to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. I used to phone on the first floor and called the precinct. I told them to send somebody over. And that detective still not showed up. And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to send guard Detective Bad? Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. After he got here, we came up to these defendant lobbies together. As we entered this hallway, we ran into you. She told us that Faraday was really mad. And then he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something. And that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. And around what time did all of that take place? Let's see. I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway, not once. Oh, and how can you make such a claim? One of the guards out in this floor's main lobby saw to me, he didn't. The detective never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to? It's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2 just as I suspected. You and I, we were in lobby number 1 next door. And the only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. I would say that I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? Yeah. I heard it when I was in defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards lobby number 2 together with you. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed the big lug who was just walking around in the hall and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies. In that order. That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right? Yeah, I guess it does. Little miss. I'm about to become a prosecutor very soon. You will treat me with the dignity I deserve or else. You wave the thing around anymore. And I'll have you arrested for obstruction. Little miss. You wouldn't dare. Just joking. Detective Bad is really something if you can make Francisca behave. Yeah. Well. Are we about to be done? I would like to hear about the time you heard the gunshot. I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess. And the trial was about to start again, I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding. But I got the sense he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him or he'd be late. Just as I thought that, bang! Sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So you heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Okay. Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste. Oh, come on, all you're doing is standing in front of the store doing nothing. I get the sense that he's someone investigating this crime scene, or rather that he's keeping us on surveillance. To what end? Look is bad. May I ask that you cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place.
Fine then, be obstinate. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles.
Oh!
She called him Miles!
You may no longer be willing to help us, however, may I ask for the forensic scientist cooperation? Do as you like. That's good enough for me. Oh,
What's the matter?
I pricked myself on one of those cactus's needles. I didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. It's a cactus. What the fuck did you expect they would be? Soft? Felt? Velvety?
Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these? Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated to our case.
You really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on this windowsill is completely related. These needles are dangerous. What? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Oh, well then I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related.
Me too. What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash made of rubber. Oh. Yeah. I guess a balloon exploding would be similar to a gunshot noise, and here we have the evidence for it. I feel like I've seen something like this before.
Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there's a litter running loose inside this courthouse, it's simply unforgivable.
It's not like it was I who littered.
Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin.
Why do you do that?
What are these black speckles?
I believe it's a pile of ants eating away.
Oh, that detective. He claims that not a single ant slipped by him. And yet there's a whole hill of them.
What are you hitting me for?
As a replacement for that pathetic detective.
Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pay cuts.
Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating.
From the look and sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll.
Ah. Miles Edgeworth, the courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times.
It wasn't me that dropped food on the ground.
Courthouse must be
kept clean. Why are you telling me that? The dirt on this bench, it smells like some sort of sweet substance.
I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame.
Calm down, Francisca. Now take a good look. Doesn't the smudge look kind of like a handprint to you?
I suppose it could be.
Which means that perhaps we can lift the print of the person who sullied this bench.
See, and then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob.
Yuda, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to?
Sir, yes, sir.
Got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. Dark smudge emits a scent of sweet sugar.
And there you have it.
Yes, I suppose so.
Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bench.
I sense that you and I will be using this information in very different ways.
It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods.
Yep. Just lovely. What will they think of next?
Don't be a jerk and court like these beef jerks. One packet for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pin for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. Ooh. They're awfully overpriced.
The lineup is simply awful. Period.
Speaking of snacks, I wonder if the Swiss roll the little girl dropped us from this machine.
I was wondering about that myself. Should be. Say neutral is supposed to end the end of these.
The end of what?
Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess.
You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh?
I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2 after all.
We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me.
If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together.
If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it.
Why not? What about the horribly overpriced orange juice? When it's looking bad, bind your position with some OJ. Are you promoting violence?
Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anybody following this advice won't be for long.
The sting of a whip, the sting of orange juice may not be so bad. When in hot water, you might need a hot dog. Looks like the slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne. Oh no!
What a pathetic slogan. No presents at all. Now, if it was up to me, it would read, if you leave matters in the Foncama's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty dogs. Overruled.
Okay, what about the ham sandwich? Don't let the prosecution and defense make a ham sandwich out of you.
Sounds like it's directed at the ham of a judge.
Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I cannot maneuver him any day. God. Help me. This pink rubbery substance, I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a pop balloon.
I suppose that's possible.
The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus.
That will be the logical conclusion, yes.
No, I've seen a pink balloon around, found a windowsill of a hallway window. Good. These bits of chocolate and cake, could they not have come from a Swiss roll?
Swiss roll? Why would a quarter sell a thing like that?
It may not seem like the right venue, however it is being sold right over there. We just talked about it.
Vending machine. Ah, I see. Say Nicholas is Swiss due until the end with these. 2 for $6! Talk about expensive.
Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside, the fact that the cake crumbs and chocolate bits are found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now.
Naturally. After all, I'm here, aren't I?
Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench.
How could he have not cleaned up after himself? Utterly despicable.
Yeah, it's still the cheapest thing and you can at least get 2 of them, like... Don't you dare whip me again. It wasn't I who made the mess in the first place. Anyway, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe who bought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts.
A contradiction? Where?
Well... I think another look at the special quarters vending machine is in order. He said he had cashed in the money earlier, so he literally only had $5 on him. But this thing cost $6, so he needed an extra $1 from somewhere else. About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor.
Meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow.
Indeed. The detective should not have been able to purchase a pack, and yet he did. The question is how? So stood up by the mysterious young girl. It's priced at $246. I believe in a very firm grasp on what happened here.
Well, I do too.
Alright, Francisca, would you care to share what conclusions you've come to?
Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know? We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead.
It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well. The first we need to pay is on a visit to correct his testimony.
Ooh, hello.
Where have we heard that before? Yeah, who else? I needed $1. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony to see how it stands up.
Do you doubt me? Am I your new suspect?
In a sense, I suppose you could say that.
Even you, a judge, and nothing but a common witness before Von Karma.
Silence in the courtroom! Silence, I say! Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred Karma Malzatra, the mischievous prosecutor, successor to Manfred von Karma.
You bit your tongue again, didn't you?
As a defender of the law, I could never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want. Very well then. Your testimony, if you please. How often do you get the chance to cross-examine a judge? I wonder. During the recess, I went to the restroom. There's a window on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines. Well, when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared because he sat down on the bench and ate. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? Oh. I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I get caught up in the excitement. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun now. We're hearing a surprising amount of objections. I'm happy. Where's a finger whack for, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony? If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I'll never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. Yourself. Why is he like that?
Well, Edgeworth, it's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life.
This is what some people may say is the pot calling the kettle black.
Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this one.
What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who's the culprit? The party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness. If you must know, the uncouth bench Solier has already been placed under arrest thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor. Oh. Well, that's good. But who was it? We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench, namely Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints. Not happy with committing just murder, he had to go and dirty the quarters too! Guilty! Your Honor, please calm down. Well, it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench. We have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat them. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true. Oh, but I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? It is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up on the wall, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Francisca herself was unable to see out of the window. Yeah, That was obvious. I know, shouldn't have used her hide as evidence. Basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restaurant. Then, it seems that you've made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window, yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight. There are some really high windows though. I wonder why they made them that high. Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony is just proving that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. No, sorry. I didn't mean to say it with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted was to try saying it once. That's fair. Here, let me try that again. Hold it! Is there something of value that you'd like to say? Yes, actually, there is. I remember something else just now. Oh? Miss Dashworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time. Absolutely! Even if we overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more info, the more info, the better in a perfect investigation, right? I suppose it's possible that you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. How was that? That's the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to say the important facts first next time? I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own works. I'm sorry. But honestly, I thought that sound was just a noise pop until just now. Now that you mentioned that right before I restarted the trial, he did talk about that. By the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? Yeah. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway, or whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. Oh yeah. Well, when did you look? As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into the hallway? After call for a recess, I handled a change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened? Yes, that sounds about right. Just as I expected. What were you expecting? I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, the statement you made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. Alright, if you insist. I looked to the hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. Wait, where do I have that? This one. Your Honor, I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. You people are so... Why are you like this? Hey gods, I've been overruled. You're the judge. Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that's simply not possible. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred von Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you bite your... Excuse me? Your what? Why don't you bite your tongue on those preposterous names? Aw. I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Francisca.
Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back.
With your height, you need a stepladder or 4 to accomplish that. Ah! A stepladder.
Hi, Zen. Good evening. How are you? How far into the game are you now?
Statues. My ears are not that far gone yet, I have you know. I can still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. You're still ahead? That's good. Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again.
You had the last case for game 1? Nice.
I mean, I think I might reach the beginning of that one until the end of the week at least. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be. Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bam! The loud sound of a gunshot. Sound of the gunshot. I keep returning to this point of contention. And that piece of evidence. I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what the gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard.
Hi, TK. Good evening.
What is that pink substance? You're still recovering from the badger from the last one? Oh, mood. Did you realize that like at the beginning of this case, there's a child here wearing a badger shirt, even though it shouldn't have existed at that point yet because this is 7 years in the past. It's bothering me. It's forever going to bother me now. It may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon. Sick. And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record. Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. What? Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there's no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at that time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, defendant lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Music goes crazy in this one. Let me ask you something. Do you think the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure the rest out on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. What manner of trickery is this?
What kind of fuckery is this?
That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth.
But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified.
Have to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins. Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true, one doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. It's very good. I love the music. I want to trade these coins with you. Said the balloon that girl was holding. It explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Who knew? Giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do. What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he's released. Wait. Are there still a few things I've yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway? Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is to continue my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. Ooh. Was it now? Is it time for my trial already? No. Imagine. I already told you a gazillion times, pal, I didn't do it. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he's completely innocent of this crime. I guess so.
I'll also be the judge of that. I'll just be in the gallery. I'll just be watching. Thank you.
Oh man, this is so fun. Smacks you with a giant gavel.
I'll be the judge of that. No, I'll be the judge of that. No, I'll be.
Well, I'll be. What are you guys talking about? Honestly, that's a very good question. What are we even talking about anymore? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony, my whip will object loud and clear. If you're found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? I gotcha, pal.
You can only have this hammer. I'll give you my gavel, and I'll give you my hammer, and I will give you my sword.
Oops, sorry about that. Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. So let's do it then. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. He nods off with his knife. Wait. I can also offer oh my goodness, wait. Well, if OBS would actually show me all of my emotes, I could also offer you this. I can offer you this gun. I can offer you this gun. I can also offer a hammer. What else can I offer? Hold on. Yeah, no, I think that's about it.
That's a big gun, hell yeah. For the big crimes.
From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. You bring a knife for me! Hell yeah! thank you for the knife! Spooky, how are you doing? I'm having a lovely stream, thank you! Get a bit... Why do you have a foot emoji? Oh my god. Okay, so now we have several... Oh, okay, wait. We have a bike. We have a foot, a singular foot. We have at least 2 knives, 2 hammers, a gun, a gavel. I think we have everything we might need. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. You finally recovered from a nasty cough. Ah, good. That's good to hear.
Yes, I also love the bounciness.
I'm glad to hear you're recovering from your cold. For me, I'm barely skirting past catching the cold that all of my coworkers seem to have gotten so far. Like, it keeps happening. It's like every week it's someone else because slowly, one after each other, they all get it. And I'm like, no. So.
Thank you for the picture.
You're still singing the same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and this time I pulled the information. I need out of him. Okay. Let's do it. What doesn't he take advance? Orders. As soon as you got here, ordered to stand. Yep. I turned on until I heard the gunshot. I was in our hallway the whole time. Yeah, I'm dodging. I don't want to get sick. I do not want to get sick. No. I don't need that. You claim to have been in the hallway the whole time. However, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door to lobby number 2, pal. What else?
No, I'm pretty sure you bought some food. Also, thank you for the prostitute.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Very well then. What exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply, I know, it was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh. Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I did take a single step away from the door just like I was ordered not to.
Thank you for the sub. Enjoy the emotes. Now I also offer you a knife.
Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we're all in shock. And in awe of your utter stupidity.
Scruffy, if you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Knife time!
I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Until I heard the gunshot, he didn't take a single step away from the lobby number 2 door. Why do I have your fingerprints on this then? Why? I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things. Quarter special Swiss rolls, right, pal? Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench? Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this.
You inconsiderate, slovenly pig.
I promise to clean it up later, I swear. Now then, shall we get down to business?
And the feet. The hands.
About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door? If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls?
Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands?
It appears that Francisco's whip can do more damage than my words alone can. Alright, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. I think you should be allowed to eat on the job, by the way. I asked my co-worker today if he could grab me something from the bakery when he goes out for his lunch break, and he came back from his lunch break, and I'm like, I just kept looking at him, and he was like, oh no, he had forgotten. In the 10 minutes it takes him to go to that bakery, okay, so in the 20 minutes until he was back, he had forgotten to also bring me something for lunch. I was like, okay. Oh, okay. Whatever. It's not like I was hungry. Unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. Yeah, and he was like, oh god, no, I'm so sorry. I got a call and then I didn't think of it anymore. And I'm like, yeah, but if you checked your back pocket where you kept the money in that I gave you to buy something for me, you would have realized, hey, why do I have money in my back pocket that's not my own, you know? Come on. I was so looking forward to that fucking... It's okay. It happens. Whatever. I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls on the vending machine. Okay, I'm sorry for lying. That's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back. That statement. It may sound like it makes sense. However, there's something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us? Huh? Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal. I don't think so. If only that were true, Detective Gumshoe. But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else. Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you're aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct? Huh? Remind me again, pal. The vending machine out in the hallway is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed your $5 annual bonus check. Which also is very crazy to me. Isn't that right? Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that? I told you I bought it by myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in the hallway with me. There's no one who could have helped me buy it. I don't believe that. Don't tell me. You got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you? Right. As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait, you do? Of course I do. What? How? What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway? Well, it's a 2-pack. You showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal. I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls. If you didn't buy it, then that means you must have stolen it, you thief! What? I would never do such a thing. Oh, you liars are the same. You shouted as thieves. You're under arrest, pal. I believe you meant to say that all thieves start out as liars. And in that case, what does that say about you, detective? This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone. Oh. There were 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them. But you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No way, pal. You got it all wrong. I ate both of them. Oh, there she is again. It would appear that we've caught you at last. Don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow?
I have a name and it's Kate.
Hey, what?
Kate Faraday.
Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter?
I'm not a you, I'm Kate.
Okay. You know, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave big, nasty bruises like the way you do.
Well, then you should have put Grammy in the rest, mister.
Gummy.
Gummy. Gummy bear.
Why is my tracking broken again? My guess says she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. Oh, really? No way. A cute nickname you've given him?
Gummy didn't do anything wrong.
Hey.
Thank you for the fact.
It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail.
Ah.
Oh. Okay. Give me a second, okay? There's an achievement I want to grab.
Any day now I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench.
By that time I should already be standing here.
It'd be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it?
If that were to happen, Francisca, I'll eat my cravat. Yeah. The tracking was lagging behind really badly. Defense attorney's bench. Probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened.
What are you thinking about? Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking.
Well, I'll have you know I don't have a single wrinkle by my youthful brow.
What about the judges?
Can I check out? Ooh!
Silence! Silence in the court!
This must be the judge's desk. You'd tell by the gavel sitting on top. I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel.
You're such a weakling, Miles Ashworth.
You have no idea how frightening it was. There we go. Wait, hold on. I want to be in the judge's position. I want to... Oh, that's fun. It's a very good question. I'm assuming they just didn't bother to think of that when they gave him one in the sprite and then have one lying around here.
Just knew it, yes, me.
Okay, hi, girl. Lee? Now then, okay. She's like a stray cat. Yeah, and you're a haughty, domesticated cat, but both of you have... Okay. I wonder if I should feed her something. Oh, feed her something, okay. Here. Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down.
No, it's Swiss roll.
It's Casey accidentally smashed one. Yeah. It really belongs to you though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy.
Uh-oh. Oh my. Your father, he's... Don't you say another word, pal. She doesn't know yet.
Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. Overheard the guards talking. I heard Daddy's... He's not here anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Hey.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna...
Aww. Aww. How old is she? 10? She's 17. This was 7 years. Yeah, she's 10. Oh my god, she's only 10 years old. Right, let it all out. Your father just passed away after. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. This child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us.
Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry?
You're right. Sorry about that. Okay, here. How about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes? Aww. I crap, don't blow your nose on that.
I feel better now, thanks.
Okay, let's try that again. Are you going to be alright?
Yeah, I'm already alright.
Somehow I highly doubt that, but I'm not going to push it.
I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers.
You're a good kid, aren't you, Kai? You always keep your promises, right?
That's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm still going to keep all my promises.
You're a very brave girl, okay? You're a very good child for keeping the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry just for you. Come on,
Thank you very much, lady.
Lady! It's nothing. I'm only telling the truth, after all. It would appear that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Francisca is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Aww. Kay, what kind of person was your father? Hi. Hey, Kay! Jesus Christ.
Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world.
So, to you, prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are in a sense. We are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals.
Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss roll.
Oh.
I want to be a hero of justice someday just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard.
I see. And what have you been working hard on?
I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together.
A promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay?
Sure, okay.
Appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Oh, let me look at that. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. Can I also see what it actually says in it? Promise 1, never take things from a stranger. Promise 2, never go anywhere with a stranger. Promise 3, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Promise 4, never cry in front of strangers. Promise 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Daddy's job is to make sure everyone follows the rules. Okay, be a good girl and promise that you keep your promises to me, okay? Love, your dad. Oh. I hope you continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero too.
Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy.
Yeah, and okay. What are the two of them? I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero too. Yes, and thanks to your also heroic testimony, you almost painted the detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that.
Gummy's not a bad man, okay?
Poor judge. He's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kai.
Yeah, we're friends.
In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? And before that, would you mind if I showed you the promise notebook again? Because apparently there's an achievement connected to showing it to her, and this is the only time you actually get to do that.
It's a promise notebook Daddy and I made. I have to be a good girl and keep all of the promises we wrote in here.
May I take a look inside for just a second?
Sure, okay.
Okay, so there are more than just the 5 I thought there were. Oh! Promise 6. If you ever have a boyfriend, you must bring him to meet Daddy right away. Well, Promise 7. Even when you have a boyfriend, never forget that I love you the most. Oh god.
I certainly don't envy the poor sap she falls in love with.
I see. Okay, that gets an extra achievement for whatever reason. So I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier.
was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi.
And when was this?
Before everything got crazy.
How long were the two of you together?
We only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own ways.
Sorry, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess, isn't that right?
Gummy! I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister.
Very well, then. I just have to speak with a good detective in private later. I love this sprite of hers, where he just jumping. She's so cute. Were you the one who bought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kai?
Well, I didn't really have a lot of money, and I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But it still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one.
Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct?
Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister.
Sure. Let me ask you, even with $1 you still didn't have enough, correct?
Well, that's why...
Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? I sense Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question.
Sorry about your roughly thing.
Yes, well, now it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So, here, you can have this one. Whoa!
Daddy said never take things from a stranger.
Ah, it's one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, right?
Yeah, look, see, it's right here on this page.
Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me next time we meet.
Okay. Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers. Loophole found.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Ow. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with little Kai in the hallway. Hey, why do I keep saying Kai?
I told you to stop being mean to Gummy.
Not such word. There's still something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon.
You still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us.
That's... well...
Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake.
Don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. That's fine. So what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. But here's what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? Honestly, I merely bore it indefinitely. Mr. Faraday in Kay's promise notebook. How does this explain anything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay. What a foolishly foolish fool's fool of a foolish reason for a fool!
Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you?
Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why.
Gummy.
At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? So stop beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry and a snack vending machine was taunting me. But all the cash you had on you was $5 and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in that machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up.
I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll. But I only had about $1 in coins. So we put my $5 and her $1 together and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together. I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gami said, "So Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me. So you didn't really get it from me, you know?" He told me it would be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy.
I think that Scruffy could be so considerate. Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together?
Yeah.
Split the other roll and ate it right then. Sweet taste of our cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Anyway. Okay, I believe this also belongs to you.
Oh, it's from the balloon I popped.
It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, okay?
I'm sorry. I guess you can't blame me for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. It's just this once, I forgive you. With that balloon, I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll.
You really got me there, pal.
So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister.
So you kicked me, is that it? You sure a feisty one.
I'm really sorry, mister.
It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. What about the Swiss roll? Would it be alright with you if I held onto it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go?
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay?
Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty. Which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders. No! Actually, it proves just the opposite, Ashworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean?
It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss Yu.
I'm getting lectured on manners. My girl with a penchant for whipping people.
How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy.
Oh, what have we here? What's a child doing here in the courthouse? Billy, please take this child away. Oh, you have to catch her first. What? It's Callisto, you. That girl is Mr. Faraday's. I know. So what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her, to speak nothing of getting underfoot. I suppose you're right. However, as long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, Detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see, isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He's the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. But the investigation's far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. But do you think it's reckless to talk to a suspect out in the open without a guard? I suppose it is. Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Oh, we haven't had this word in a while. I forgot how to say it.
Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma.
Down, Tigers. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So, we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all of the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet, there's still one location we've yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime, lobby number 1. To be continued! Which fits just perfectly with my saving, thank you! District Court defended lobby number 1, except we're not doing that today. Sure, let me save again, why not? Aha! Well? Well? That's nice. I think we can finish this one next time then. Nice. With just a tad over time, I think we can finish this one next time. These games are very fun. Also, some very interesting characters. You see, I'm having a blast.
You so stream? No, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by.
Another 3 to 4 streams. Oh yeah, no, I think we can definitely finish this specific case next time, so on Sunday. And then I think it's gonna be a few more.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm frozen again. Why? Oh, no, I'm just laggy. Okay.
Well, but because it's not the end. It's not yet the end for Ace Attorney Investigations. I'm gonna send you guys over to Sybil, who is currently also playing Ace Attorney Investigations and is on the case before this one, so we're not in any danger of getting spoiled. Yeah, let me set this up. I hope I wrote that correctly. Here's the raid message. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by. We will continue this game on Sunday. We'll play, we'll try and finish Serial Cleaner on Friday because, you know, last Friday was what it was. And then we're gonna do more Octopath on Saturday, hopefully, for once this time. I would like to actually do all of the streams I put on the schedule for once. Again, it's been a little hectic recently.
But for now, thank you so much for coming by. Have a good night. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.
A day to make a note to remove the copycat. Okay. Actually, good point. Thank you.
Adieu.